Found my 26M girlfriend, 24F, had an affair with a married man. Posting from throwaway account as I don't want to reveal my real identity. Hi all. I 26M need advice on how to deal with recent discovery about my GF's 24F past. We are in relationship for about 3 months now and everything is very beautiful and sweet. We love each other and care about each other, but I recently got to know that she had a relationship with her married colleague in past, and since then I'm not able to think clearly. In the beginning of our relationship itself, we told each other about our past to avoid any situation in future, but she didn't tell that she was involved with a married man. My point is not that she had a relationship earlier, even I had a relationship before her, but she was involved with a married man who already had a kid. I also got to know that the wife of guy with W home she was involved with got to know about their relationship and she took legal actions against him. And I believe they were still involved for a brief moment after his wife got to know about this. This discovery has shaken me till core. Need your advice navigating through this situation. Also, can there be any legal issues in future if there is something in her records? Edit. 1. She was very well aware that the guy is married and has kids. 2. She was 21 and working when this started. 3. This not a case of US, I'm from India. 4. She was definitely not pressured into it. They were still involved after she changed city and company. 5. I have just discovered this, she has no clue I know this. I want to understand how can I bring this up to her. Break up, this should bother you. Your moral compasses don't align. She is of questionable moral character. Not the kind of person to start a committed relationship with. She didn't respect someone else's marriage, why would she respect yours? How does she feel about it now? Does she regret it, and is it something she'd never do again? Or does she think nothing of it and act like what she did was okay? The answers to these questions will tell you if you should continue with her or not. TBH, that shows lack of moral character and lack of respect for marriage. Not sure if you want to keep being in a serious relationship with her. It's 3 months, she is not the one. There is better out there. My 27 male, fiancé, 28 female, is mad at me because I'm missing our anniversary brunch. A little bit about us. Tiffany and I met in university, 21 and 22, engaged 8 months ago, wedding date is July. Relationship has been stable and respectful, no funny business. Tiffany is the girl of my dreams. Beautiful, incredibly intelligent, professionally successful, and we work great as partners. I have a day job and a regular income, but I also have a hobby as a YouTuber, influencer for Pokemon Go. Without doxing myself, I can say that I have a decent Twitter following and YouTube audience, and I pull in about $400 a month in ads and sponsorships. To keep things simple, I am a high-level player and have connected with other Pokemon Go YouTubers in my city. We collaborate and play the game together often. We're a pretty close group of friends and see each other once or twice a week. Sometimes more on major event days in the game. Tiffany doesn't play Pokemon Go very much. She understands the gist of it, catch the guy, battle the guy, so on, but she told me that she tried it once when it came out and didn't really stick with it. She's supportive of my YouTube channel and sometimes comes to events to support me without playing, but overall she doesn't have a vested interest in it like I do. Our anniversary is January 11th, which coincides with a major event in Pokemon Go. I made plans to stream with my friends about a month ago knowing that this was our anniversary. Tiffany and I have never celebrated our anniversary together on the day of our anniversary, and, even when we have, it was evening events, dinner and drinks, a movie, exploring downtown. I told Tiffany about a month ago that I was going to play this event with my friends on the day of our anniversary and she had no problem with it because she was scheduled to work. Last week she told me she was going to try and get the day off, but there were no promises. Well, yesterday night she surprised me by telling me that she had our anniversary off and that she made a brunch reservation at a nice restaurant downtown. We have never gone to brunch together nor have we ever celebrated our anniversary like this. The brunch reservation would run into the time I was supposed to be recording, and I reminded her that I had this day planned a month in advance. She ended up yelling at me for prioritizing the game over her when, really, she's blindsided me with anniversary plans when I had already committed the day to filming. She started crying and calling me heartless and has been distant at home. We ordered lunch today, she took her food into her office and has refused to talk to me all day. As I see it, this is a shake-up to how we celebrate our anniversary because we don't typically make a big deal of it. This event is a great opportunity to grow my channel, and most of the money goes toward our relationship anyway. I don't see why she can't push the reservation up a day or until later in the week when we both have a day off. She knows how good of an opportunity this is for me and how important the event is in the context of the game. Any advice, Reddit? Edit. I feel like I didn't give enough context and people are asking a lot of questions. I'm going to address them now. I do more than just 1 or 2 nice things for her a year. If anything, we both do a fair amount of the planning for nice dinners and date nights, probably 2 to 1 me to her, and we probably go out every month or month and a bit. I find regular dates a very important part of a successful relationship, and so does she. We take turns choosing restaurants and events to go to. There have never been any problems like this before. I feel like we both pull equal weight in the relationship in terms of doing what we both want to do. She is in community theater and I always make time to see her shows, often multiple times, along with driving her to her recitals and practice performances. She comes to my Pokemon events maybe once every 2 months, but she never changes plans to be there. I feel like this is a fair amount of flexible for both of us. Brunch starts at 2 p.m. and so does the Pokemon event. As a YouTuber, it's extremely important that I'm there from the start of the event, because this better translates into the success of my channel. Whoever uploads first typically gets the view, and I want to post content with my group very quickly into the day so that we're on the receiving end of the most viewers. But I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany's? I don't believe his edit. 1. He contradicted his own post within the post. 2. In the post he wrote, cut into the event and not start at the same time. 3. Brunch that starts after lunch? Who goes to brunch at 2 p.m.? I think this is BS. There's a chance Tiffany got the idea for anniversary brunch, pulled strings to get off work, built it up in her head as this amazing exciting thing she couldn't wait to do with you. Then felt incredibly let down when you said it wouldn't work for you, reminded her you had plans. Just to try to imagine where she's coming from and why she had such an emotional response. My advice would be to talk it through, empathize with each other and make a decision about anniversary plans as a couple, compromise so both of you feel heard and happy with the plan. You would rather prioritize a fucking video game over your fiancé and anniversary. JFC. Are you marrying Pokemon or Tiffany? Who is gonna wipe your ass when you're 80? No one ever regrets not working more. Look, I get it's an interest. And I get that she changed the plan, but ultimately, the people you love should always come first. She has never asked this of you before. Who the hell schedules over their anniversary and act like a victim when their significant other makes plans for a day which you should expect to make plans? She even warned you she was trying to get the day off, which means she definitely plans to be with you that day. Even if you do nothing together. Like, why are you even getting married? My relationship advice is to marry your Pikachu and leave that woman alone. I, 24F, don't feel like a woman with my boyfriend, M28. We've been together for 5 years. My partner and I have had little to no sex for years, and this issue has been present for what feels like forever. We've tried many things, but nothing has really improved the situation. I don't want to go into the details because it feels like we're just going in circle. What hurts me the most is that after being rejected so many times over the years, I no longer feel desired. I feel like I'm not truly a woman anymore. When I find myself in situations where another man shows interest, I immediately shut it down because I'm in a relationship, but honestly, it doesn't happen often since I rarely go out. I desperately want to feel like a sexual and desirable woman again, without being unfaithful. Has anyone been through something similar or has advice on how to regain this feeling? You're 24 and wasting your life. Have a serious talk with him about your needs, and if he doesn't change, leave. You should be wanted in your relationship. Maybe you are just not compatible. Without sex you are just extra special friends. You don't have to be committed and monogamous to be that. I suggest it's time for you to decide what you want. You should assume it's not going to get better. How many years will you continue like this? It's been 5 already. You're only 24 and this sounds like something that should be said by someone 20 years your senior. And you sound like you've tried, and 5 years is a long time, dear. This relationship is at the beginning of your life and you need to walk away. Do some self-reflection on the woman you want to be while being single. Because you could easily walk away and end up jumping into the opposite situation, finding someone who only wants physicality, which I know you want and may actually enjoy for a while, but then you'll end up being someone's plaything, which may feel just as bad or worse in the end. Coming from someone who has been a person's object of affection for an extended period of time, red heart. Just be careful and smart moving forward. This relationship is over, sis. It's over. I know that sucks to hear, but there's no other way. Getting out of a long-term relationship is really hard. It sometimes takes steps. Start making new connections, saving money, and building up a routine that you can sustain without him. Explore who you are without him more. The transition will be easier if you do it that way. The cold turkey breakup is really hard when you've been together for so long. You got this. But for real, it's over. I'm 34 female. Thinking of divorcing my husband, 45 male. Am I out of my mind? Apologies in advance if my English is bad. Not native. Hey, my husband, 45 male, and I, 34 female, have been together for 6.5 years and married for 3 years. I started dating him when I had just got out of a 7-year relationship and wasn't exactly sure if I'd be ready for a serious relationship so soon, but he insisted and I slowly fell in love with him also. We've had our issues in the past, mostly in bed. He's not very experienced and not a good sexual partner, but I was stupid and in love and thought it would fix itself with time, communication and experience. It fudging didn't, and we had a few fights over the way we deal with each other's families. Other than that, everything was fine. He proposed 5 months after we started living together and I said yes. The wedding was fine, happy memories yada yada. Now it comes the bad part. During our time together he has slowly but surely come to depend on me for almost everything, and it's making me feel more like his caretaker than his woman. I've always been the more handyman of the two, and I like taking care of people, on my terms. But it looks like we have slowly wormed our way into a mom-child dynamic that I can't get out of. And he doesn't want to. One example. We went to a spa a few months ago. Just before entering the locker room I tried to explain to him that he would have to set a password for his locker and that he would find the instructions printed on the spa ticket. He bombarded me with questions, implying that I should find a way to accompany him and help him. Another example. Whenever we go out together he will never decide on his own accord whether to take his set of house keys or not. Every time I have to walk him through the final verdict, pondering the pros and cons. Apparently, he is afraid of us both losing our keys. Mind you, none of us ever lost a key in our life. Every fudging little thing beside the simple house chores and life tasks he has to ask for guidance, or he'll simply wait for me to do OT for him. I tried talking to him multiple times, explaining that I'm his wife, not his mom or emotional caretaker, but he brushes it off saying that all women complain about their husbands being a child and that it's normal for a wife to take care of her husband. I would like him to be just a bit more independent, not always waiting for me to come and save him. Or do things for him. We've been fighting over this since September 2024, and every time I try to explain my feelings I get either dismissed, or he'll just bring up a few occasions where he had to pick up after my mess in the house, but it's not the same. If you add this dynamic to a very low quality sex, I'm kind of sick of it. Sick enough that I'm seriously considering a divorce and have talked to him about it. Even now that he's looking for a house to move into, we live in my house that I bought on my own before we started dating seriously. I'm the one dealing with the real estate agencies instead of him. I feel unseen and completely belittled. Sometimes I feel like I'm going insane. Can someone fall out of love so quickly? Weaponized incompetence, look it up. He sounds like a man-child because of his emotional immaturity and lack of adulting. If he is not listening to your concerns and feedback, dismisses you and doesn't seriously consider any issues, then he is not a functioning partner capable of being in an adult relationship. You can let him know that either he works on himself with results, or you can just call it quits if you know he has no ability to self-reflect. Well, maybe you should take to heart that caretakers typically don't have sex with their dependents. Let's see how fast his tune changes then. But also, my husband and I were both virgins when we got married, so zero sexual experience, and through communication and paying attention to each other's bodies. Even after a year we were consistently having amazing sex, so your husband is clearly not trying. This hasn't come out of nowhere for you. He's been whittling you down for years and he needs to take accountability now if he wants a hope of saving this marriage. Seriously though, you need to stop helping him. The real estate thing? Why? He's moving out because he has treated you as a caretaker. Married for 3 years. Well, how expensive was the wedding? Lol. You had those problems already before you married and you did it anyway. You were out of your mind to marry him, now correct your mistake. Genuinely shocked you made it this long, honestly. Even if what he was doing was normal, it is not. His dismissive attitude towards your feelings is gross. He's so much older than you and non-functional. Dude sucks in bed, can't do anything without running to you like you're his mommy and fucking you.